Okay, hello. I'm going to try do a bit of a video on submitting your lab to the lab submission area in week one here. Hopefully, and this is new to me, but hopefully we'll be able to do simulated labs very like this for the whole 12 weeks. So I've got it in student preview here, so it should look very like your screen should at home. So here's my week one with the bit of instruction. Go in and I'll move my screen a little. Here's lab one here. Go in and here we go, and I apologize for that. So lab one, this is the actual lab. So simulated lab, introduction to multi-sim, link to the demo videos that Peter has provided, Peter Brown has provided. And there's your circuit that you have to complete in multi-sim live online. This was done in there, so everything should be pretty well identical. The positioning doesn't have to be, but the connections, etc. do. So here's the instructions for it. Once you've completed it, you're going to calculate the frequency of the output waveform, and with the formula, then use the multi-sim live circuit that you've completed to measure the frequency and the duty cycle of the waveform. With this, the original one, and then you have to switch R2 to 100K and do these same calculations again. And then here it gives you a bit of information. Once you've taken your measurements, calculations, etc. in your multi-sim, you're required to put it into split screen view, which will be clear to you when you do the multi-sim circuit. Set it up as required, and then do a print screen and put it into a Word document would probably be the easiest. A JPEG or PDF or whatever, I suppose, will work as well. So once you have that done, then go here to lab one, and this should give you all that you need. Read your instructions a bit. Here is question one, so there's only really one question, and it asks you to submit your file here. So browse my computer. I'm going to submit one and see what happens here. So schematic, here's a Word document. So I've submitted mine. That's good. Down below here, you push submit, and it should go back here. Now, actually, I'm going to have to exit out of here, because now you've done your submission. That's all that's required for that. But you'll be required to get marks for this. You have to come back into this. Once the submission time has closed, then you have to come back in and mark two other people's submissions. And I provided a rubric type of thing, criteria, and a model circuit for you to mark by. So I'm going to go and set that up a bit, and then I'll make another video for that. Okay, hopefully continuing along here. I was unable to set it up to mark anything in the student preview because no students have submitted anything. Whenever I submit, it doesn't stay. So this is what it'll look like when you do actually have all of the submissions in, and then when you go into the evaluation portion. So here, the evaluations, you'll see 3 of them. You have to mark 2. So user 0 is you. So you can self-evaluate. You can't give yourself an actual mark though. So we'll go into user 1 here. And again, there's no submission available because this is just a preview of the way it works. Here you'll have model response. This is compare it to theirs, and then you have here criteria 1. So out of 5 marks, and you're going to look through, so 1 mark for each of the items below, and you're going to add a mark for each of the items below. I changed that text, but it didn't change in here. And if you want to leave any feedback for them, that's great. The more you talk about what they've done and any mistakes they made, etc., is better yet. And then you can say bad, and give them a 3, let's say. So good, save, and next criteria. Next one, you're going to look at now the split screen, the waveform in the oscilloscope type of window. Is the screenshot done properly? Is it the split screen shown? 1 mark. Does it fill the window? I paused it properly. Waveform shown with 0 to 5 volt amplitude, so proper power supply, DC power supply. Duty cycle appeared to be close to what it's supposed to be. And are the axes set to properly display the waveform? Again, you can put comment and the possible mark as excellent. So save and submit. And there you're done. And it's not showing up in this demo, but normally it would have whatever we put, 8 out of 10 here. And then you've got to do your second one. You can look at your own again, as I say, and that's it. So you're once you've submitted yours and marked 2, then you're done with the lab for the week. And the way I'm going to set it up is, and I'm still learning how this works, but what I'm going to do is I'll have the lab day as a Wednesday, for example, we'll say. So everybody does their lab on Wednesday and submit everything else. So the lab will close that. You'll have a couple hours or whatever it may be, 4 hours or something to do the lab and submit it. And then at whatever time after it's closed, I'll open this evaluation up, and it'll be available for the next day or a couple of days, whichever, however long it'll take you guys to do it. So that's my plan, and we'll see after the first week, we'll see how well it works or it doesn't work. Thanks a lot. Hopefully this clears everything up. We'll see.